Sunset Hall is kind of famous, isn't it?
We hope so. It's certainly famous among those in the know.
Uh-huh. Well, tell me why.
Well, because it has such a wonderful tradition of people coming here at the end of, but as part of a long life of struggle.
Try to break that thing?
You haven't hit a bad note yet.
There's a whole note in his head.
Are you John?
Yes.
Hi.
You are?
And I'm Nancy Cain from Camnet, the Camcorder network.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, you're interested in Sunset Hall.
That's right, I am. Oh, I'm Now, what is this event that's happening here today?
Well, we have, believe it or not, the residents has written a book, and they got it published. And this is our celebration here for the book. See,
You are one of the writers.
yes, I have it.
Can you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, I am Donald Ryan and a resident, but I think you could guess that already. Now, my job is to welcome you to Sunset Hall.
Thank you, Dave.
Now, Sunset Hall is an institution, and institutions are not really very nice places. But this is a small institution. Right now, we have 29, and we hope to go up to 36. And it is a non-profit institution. And lately, it has been non-profit double in spades. But because of our executive director, Joan Liddell, who is an excellent recruiter, we are now up to 29, and that reduces the deficit monthly. I can tell you my experience with Sunset Hall to show you what kind of a place it is. Institutions have a lot of rules. So when I came here, I asked, can I have wine in my room? And they said it was your room. And then I kept asking questions like, if I was a little boy trying to find out how far I could go. And I found that if I asked for anything that wouldn't interfere with the comfort of the other residents or put an unduly burden on the staff, that I would be able to do it.
We are here today to celebrate the publication of this book, Kaleidoscope. These people sitting here, right here against the wall, wrote about their lives, and in my opinion, unusual lives. They are sharing their experiences with us. We met together for 2 years. Many times I would arrive and find them in the library, waiting for me. Unusual lives, unusual people.
I want you to know how honored I feel to read these pieces, because this is really history, and it's literature too. And and they're very touching. I was very touched by all of them. The Invasion of Spain by Hitler, Mussolini, and Franco by John Day. At this point in the war, Italian bombers were using the islands off Spain as bases to bomb the large cities. Cities of Spain, Barcelona, Madrid, Toledo, and particularly the civilian populations.
The next two selections are from Martha M. Ripley.
I am right here.
All right. The first one is called The Habit Was Broken by Martha M. Ripley. I was born in Butte, Montana, April 12th, 1901. We moved to Bowerman when my brother Samuel Marvin Wade was born. My father had always wanted to live on the West Coast and continue his work. He left for the coast and we went to Boulder, Montana and joined my grandfather and grandmother. My grandfather was a tall, angular man, 6 feet 4 inches tall, and had the largest feet of any person I had ever known. It was my duty to lace his shoes every morning and unlace them in the evening. The Coming Out Party by Lois Dean. One day, as we were having luncheon, my little boy, Henry, who was barely 5 at the time, looked up at me and said brightly, "Mama, where did I come out?" I was so startled I couldn't think. Ever since I was married, I had determined always to tell my child the truth as he best understood it. But at 5 years old, were all children already learning the facts of life? I could only fight for time to think. Finally, I asked, "Where did you hear this?" "Oh, Mildy and Susie and Billy." And what did they say? I was still helpless. "Well," Henry said helpfully, "Mildy came out in Boston and Susie came out in New York. And you," I broke in, "and you, darling, came out in Malvern, Pennsylvania."
These next two stories are by Waldemar B. Hilly. That Mr. Hilly over there? Evidently, Mr. Hilly is a musician because these are very musical stories. Yeah. Well, the first one is called The St. Louis Story by Waldemar B. Hilly. This writing is based on an actual series of events in the suburban area of St. Louis, Missouri in 1951. The names are changed to protect the innocent and perhaps the guilty. Eddie Robertson and Simon Ward, one white and one black, Eddie a war hero, Simon a buddy from pre-World War II days, had plans of living in a nice but reasonably priced residence. Finding rent impossibly high, Eddie offered to pay the major part of the expenses. A place on Arlington Street was agreed upon, in spite of being on the border of a mixed neighborhood. Being close friends and union brothers, they thought they had found a good place for their families to live and work, and they could earn enough together to be able to pay the necessary rent. They paid for the next month and proceeded to occupy the place with the children immediately making friends. But no sooner did these joyous tenants start to celebrate their new dwelling place, but some neighborhood white folks took note and raised a brouhaha about the moving in of black people, some apparent union labor leaders, and also some Jewish troublemakers. Others took notice, but soon there was a dangerous situation. Eddie Robinson was locked in jail for 30 days and fined. Simon managed to escape. We can only hope that St. Louis has learned to be ashamed of itself. We don't want our home to be a jailhouse.
peace and freedom. Oh, yes, I wouldn't go to one of these organizations.
I'll help her. Well, wait. I'll be happy to do so. But there's not enough chairs up front.
Guys, we get playtime. Wow, guys, wow. Ian, watch this. What? Wingy, wongy, woo.
Did you see a woman with a duck?
Yeah.
Where is
she?
she?
was walking down that way. I saw her.
Camcorder Network News.
Hi, this is Paul Krasner with the Camnet News. Well, one of the highlights for me at the Republican convention was when George Bush was giving his speech, Dan Quayle was overheard chanting, 3 more years, 3 more years. Hillary Clinton is trying to compromise and not offend the anti-abortion people too much, so she's now pushing for legislation that would allow fetuses to sue their parents before they were born. Well, how can you ignore this Woody Allen, Mia Farrow thing? I mean, it's so much like his movies intertwining with real life, even though Woody Allen insists that he makes his movies out of his imagination and not based on his real life. And as an indication of that, he says his next movie is going to be a murder mystery. So let's look for Woody Allen to go into the courtroom with an Uzi and slay Judge Wapner. And now for my commentary. You know, if you watch the conventions, there was an interesting new phenomenon. I mean, here I am, a comedian pretending to be a newscaster, and there were newscasters pretending to be comedians. Tom Brokaw did a shtick every night on the Jay Leno show, comedy shtick. You know, he was doing jokes like Bill Clinton didn't inhale and Al Gore did inhale, so at least the Democrats have a balanced ticket. And as a result of this, Catch a Rising Star had a special comedy night, which they called Anchor Night. The TV anchors were there. So you had Peter Jennings from ABC, and he was doing a bit about French fried sound bites. And from CNN, you had Bernard Shaw and Catherine Cryer, and they did an improv based on the audience suggestions. So they did a bit where he was Clarence Thomas and she was Anita Hill. And then Dan Rather did a bit about how Murphy Brown was going to have a Father of the Week to appease the critics of the cultural elite. You know, one week the father would be Jerry Brown, another week the father would be Jesse Jackson. And it got to him so much that Dan Rather began to end the CBS Evening News by saying, "You guys have been a lot of fun. See you next time."
Young people and all of you here, we have a very special to the counselors. So I want you to go home and tell your parents today that you met the lady who's going to be the next U.S. Senator for the state of New York. Anyone can tell me who the U.S. Senator is today? There's 2 of them. Can any of you tell me?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Do you know? Oh, her and him? No, not quite.
I think Alfonso the model, something like
That's
that.
right. That's the guy we've got to defeat. He supported Bush when Bush vetoed the Civil Rights Act a couple of years ago. He voted to sustain that veto, and he hasn't been very good to us. And so we want you to listen to the lady who is going to be the next U.S. Senator. We hope for the state of New York. She's running in a Democratic primary, and I wish you'd give her your attention. There's a few more young people coming over. Young lady, what grade are you in?
7.
And what's your favorite subject?
Science.
And what's your career?
I want to be a doctor.
Doctor. Excellent. What do you like to be?
A teacher.
Teacher.
Lawyer, doctor.
Lawyer. you're a doctor? Engineer. Engineer. Lawyer. How's your English mark? No, it can't be fair, man. It's got to be good. English is the most important subject for a lawyer, am I correct? Absolutely. Okay, what's your career goal? Huh? Banker. You want to own a bank. Okay? What about you? Lawyer. Oh, no. Listen, you got to play more than basketball. Only 1 out of every 100,000 basketball player in high school go to the NBA. And all the NBA players, you saw the Dream Team? Huh? The Dream Team all went to college. Okay, so you gotta go on to college. Okay, so you gotta major in something. What about you? Architect, lawyer. What about you? Doctor. What about you? Bricklayer. You're gonna own your own construction company. Okay. You're going to have bricklayers working for you, okay? Own your own construction company, okay? I think everybody is here now. I want to thank all of you for giving us this time with the lady who's going to be, I hope, the next U.S. Senator for the state of New York, Liz Holtzman. She's now the comptroller in the city of New York. She's been a DA in Kings County, Brooklyn, and she's also been a member of Congress from Brooklyn. So she's had the kind of experience that has prepared her very, very well for this position of U.S. Senator. So it's my pleasure to give you Liz Holtzman, our Democratic candidate for the U.S. Senate.
Hi, kids. Hi. You having a good time today? Yes. No rain yet, right? No. Who wants to be President of the United States here? All right. Who wants to be U.S. Senator? Okay, maybe a couple people. Did I see any girls raise their hand? I want to be a president. You want to be a president? Okay. Let me just tell you something, kids. In the U.S. Senate, there are 100 people in the U.S. Senate, and there are only 2 women. We want to change that. In fact, you know there are no African Americans in the U.S. Senate. We want to change that. We want to open up our government so that everybody can participate. And we also want to make our government care about kids, right? Yes. And what that means is that we need really good educational opportunities for all kids. Because if you don't go to school, you don't get a good education, it's tough to get a good job. And if you want to be President of the United States, you need a good education. Now, if you want to be Vice President, you don't have to spell potato right. Is that right? How many of you who want to be lawyers and doctors and architects know how to use computers? Using computers, that's great. We need to make sure that every kid in this country knows how to use computers, knows about science and math, has the skills for the future. And we're going to fight in Washington to make sure that you get the best education in the world and that you have the chance to go to college if you want to, and that all your talents can be used, and also that all your dreams for yourself come true. You know what Martin Luther King said? That I have a dream. And his dream was to make sure that if you want to reach to the stars, you can reach to the stars.
We got whatever.
What's this about, Judy?
This is the redheaded picnic. There's supposed to be 100 redheads here. And they're going to have a contest to see who has the longest red hair and the whitest legs and the most freckles, I think. But right now they're having a dessert. Oh, there's the redhead.
That's what it is.
30, sunblock 30.
It's not enough. Where's the 2000s?
Great.
But,
Well, what is it about redheads?
Well, it's a recessive gene, you know. It just happens out of pure good luck. And,
But it is genetically transmitted to some extent too. Redheads tend to have redheads, or well, that's what recessive gene means.
Yeah, recessive means it hides until it's combined with the other possibility.
Because my dad was a real redhead.
Oh.
And it hasn't come up at all in this second generation. You know, none of I have. I don't know.
Redhead wannabe.
This is the wannabe, okay.
Where's the bathroom?
Right around, you go down the stairs over here.
Grandfather on one side, grandmother on the other side. And it just trickled down to me, yeah.
What's the, you know what percentage of the population is? I guess
Well,
it's really small.
they say 2% in the United States, but then Ireland and Scotland's up around 10%, say 11%. And Eugene must be at least 8%. There's a high population, yeah.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? Do I have 6, 7? Excellent. I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Well, okay, I need you to move over, sweetie. All right, so we'll...
Kelly?
And Corey.
And Corey. Okay, guys, get head to head. And what's the name? Thomas. Thomas? Bye. Can we go out? There you go. Mommy's right. All you men with the whitest leg! Let's go! Carrot top.
That's an old Jesse.
Ketchup head. Ketchup head. Strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake.
Pizza face.
Pizza face.
Want to stand way up here?
We're going to have the picture in a couple of minutes. Okay, what's your name, kid?
Robert.
Please stop yelling at them, and I'll get them to stop yelling too. Okay.
We need to find my people.
Listen up. We need to get a little tighter together, a little closer. Well, actually, don't back up. People from the outside scooting in.
Sarah, get in the picture.
Heather.
Hurry up.
We should do the freckle contest after the picture.
About a cheer.
Say cheese.
The cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, look forward, everybody. Okay. Sarah! Sarah, move in! Move in, Sarah! Forget it.
What is that?
That's the redhead. Take the pinky sign.
Pinky?
The pinky sign.
Oh, the pinky.
Okay, you got enough? Sarah, no, I don't even have one yet. Okay. Sarah won't move in, Robert. Move her in. Hi. I don't have a redhead, but I'm nasty, I know it.
Recessive gene.
Yeah. I live with the redhead. What can I say?
She just looks at me.
Whether it's working to preserve Antarctica or blocking the slaughter of endangered species, Greenpeace is in the forefront of the fight to protect our planet. Greenpeace relies on voluntary contributions. You can help. Write to 1436 U Street, Northwest, Room 3, Washington, D.C., 20009. From nuclear testing to commercial whaling, Greenpeace fights to stop needless destruction of our environment. When the Dutch were dumping radioactive waste at sea, Greenpeace members were there, risking their lives to stop it. And Greenpeace is working here in America to reduce acid rain and to stop toxic dumping. But Greenpeace does more than focus attention on problems. It develops practical, workable solutions to preserve our planet for future generations. Take a moment to help in this critical work. Write Greenpeace, 1436 U Street, Northwest, Room 3, Washington, D.C., 20009. Greenpeace is making a difference. Please help.
They say necessity is the mother of invention. I needed work. And reading a newspaper one day, happened to see an ad for a video dating service, and something clicked in my head that said there has to be a television format based on video dating. You know, dating is a universal experience. Video dating matches the technology of broadcast television. That was the beginning of it.
I call it lust connection.
Lust connection? Why?
Because that's exactly what it is.
It's a safe way to meet people. Definitely, you know, you can screen your date of, you know, who you want to go out with. And
Maybe have time to look around. I mean, in the 90s, you're so busy working and trying to do the things that you want to do that you just don't have time to try and find the right person to date. I think this is kind of a great way to do it. I think they should have it in all the towns, everywhere, so everybody will get a chance to do it.
So we should have our own channels, dating channels on our cable.
Yeah, that's it.
What's the appeal? The appeal, it's a sexual experience.
What does it say about love in the 90s? Anything?
Love in the 90s.
It's a TV kind of a
contradictory. Contradictory. It's free.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
TV's better than real life, isn't it?
No, it is. It's dramatic.
Meets modern day technology, where you hear all the intimate details of a first date. And now, here's the host of Love Connection.
Unless she's positive that he really likes her. And she says that her other major requirement is dating an intelligent man. Please welcome Sharon Fantroy. Sharon, how are you? Welcome back. You got 2 links hanging around your neck there. Did you know that?
Links and diamonds.
Yeah. How bright does a guy have to be to go out with you?
Well, it's not that he has to be like a brain surgeon or anything. I just expect him not to be stupid. I've been having a problem with stupid men lately. One guy in particular constantly calls and I tell him, look, I'm not attracted to you. You have nothing in common with me. I don't want to go out with you. Stop calling. He's like, well, maybe I'll try back Friday.
Most of the time, the people pick their own dates, and the studio audience is either affirmation or or contradiction of the choice they made. Every Friday we have what we call an end game, where somebody actually lets the studio audience pick their date. But even in those cases, the people have screened the 3 videotapes of the choices. And if they had objected to any, I mean, if one seemed like somebody that they wouldn't go out with, then obviously they wouldn't submit to the process.
Right now we are starting our glamorous audition session, and we like to start out with a videotape of what you might be in for. It could be a good date, it could be a date from hell. This is a good date. Next date's the date from hell.
Oh, I see.
Stick around.
She laughed about it, but I was serious. Good. So he comes over to pick you up?
Yes, in the morning at 6:30 in the morning. He's there sharp, and my mother gets up.
So why do you want to be on?
Pretty good review, Daryl.
Can't you find a guy through normal means?
You're kidding. Is it that bad out there?
They're terrible out there.
It is?
Those guys are dorks. They're not.
I cannot find any. I'm not having a hard time finding somebody who's tall enough.
Oh yeah.
Everybody I know, they're all like 5'7" and under.
I want a 6-foot guy, and I'm only 5'4".
So you actually have to go on national television to find yourself a halfway decent date.
I was thinking about doing a billboard with my name and number for rent or sell cheap. My family suggested that.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Oh, what did you just erase?
No, I'm trying to word it just so where it makes a lot of sense, and I come across.
So which phase are you in? The beginning phase?
Just the beginning, yeah. And I'm just trying to put down something that would describe me and myself.
So
it's not easy sometimes.
But what's the motivation? Why do you want?
Obviously, meet a woman. My dreams or just to have a date, to have some fun.
Are you having trouble finding people out there in normal channels?
Yeah, I've been in social clubs. I've been to bars, and it's not my scene because I don't smoke.
Oh, God.
And I don't like drinking an awful lot. And I do find it difficult to quote unquote find the right woman in the right place, and and all the timing. It's very.
But maybe the love connection will be the deal.
There you go.
National TV.
National TV. Yeah. Let's see if I can perform, or at least perform without a lot of nerve.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
All right. Well, good luck.
Yeah, you caught me. I'm just sort of nervous.
It is kind of
camera
pressure, huh?
Yeah.
Black and white, yeah. It's interesting that I think it's fascinating that people choose national television, Love Connection, as a forum to find a date.
Well, it's cheaper. I mean, there is no cost involved. We're basically a talk show with a comedy twist to it, but like a dating service, you have to spend a lot of money. I mean, these dating services in LA, they can charge you like $2,000,
Wow.
and that's the biggest complaint you get. People go through the personals. They really do. I get a lot of people. Most dates from hell are from the personals, but not really. A lot of people have gotten married, and just like us, we've had marriages too. So it's just a hit or miss type thing.
What does it say about dating in the 90s, the fact that the show is so popular? Do people really have a hard time meeting each other out there?
I think you do. I think the biggest problem, the thing that I found is you have many, many affluent people. They're very, they're very educated. You know what I mean? And they don't want to have to go out to the bar scene because they don't like it. You don't get the quality that you're looking for. You don't get this, the seriousness. You don't get the people who want to commit to a relationship. You get the people who want to go out and dance and have a good time and party and male bond or female bond and the same thing. And people are tired of it. They don't have the time and the energy to go out to the clubs because they work 9 to 5, or there's no such thing as 9 to 5 anymore.
Yeah.
At least here.
That's true. You meet a lot of people, but seems like it would be really fun.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay.
Because it's kind of a semi-setup, it's like, it's not a total blind date, but yet there's some mystery involved here because you don't know really what's going to happen. I think it'd be just as fun to come in and say how awkward the whole thing was, and it would be to say we just had the greatest time.
So if you have a bad date, you won't have any problem coming out?
Oh, not at all. I look forward to it.
Like, suppose she says something terrible about you.
Well, not horrible, but, I mean, all right, well, I can dish it out, too.
Like
I'll make something up.
He opened the door, and I opened the door, and he looked like just a big geek.
You got past phase 1.
Yes.
And what's the attraction? Why do you want to go on to the Love Connection?
What?
Because I'm not one to go out to a club or anywhere to meet anyone, and I figure at least these people, Love Connection know about them. I don't, but Love Connection do. So clue.
What do you do?
Yeah. So, well, I hope
kinda
it's
safe.
I hope it's successful for you.
I hope so.
You're gonna have to like a guy that likes
Long
that's not
nails.
afraid of being scratched.
So you ready to do this, Jeffrey?
Right, you get a complimentary cocktail before it starts, right?
Didn't you already have that over at the Hard Rock?
Are you nervous?
Oh, is that?
Are you nervous to go on TV or what?
Come on, have a seat
Well,
right
I've never
here.
done this before, so.
I'm Donna, by the way.
Hi, Donna.
Jeffrey. That's Rodney over there
Hi,
shuffling
Rodney.
papers. Everybody who comes on Love Connection does this, makes a videotape, so that's why you're here.
Okay.
There's a lot of ways you can go on a date. You can be a selector, you can be selected, you can be an audience matchup, you can be a second choice if someone doesn't have a good date the first time and gets another crack at it. Probably the best spot is the selector position.
I think so, yeah.
So if you want to do that, if that's your goal here, your aim, I need a number of things from you. One, energy.
Okay.
Just pump up some energy behind your answers.
Okay.
I need kind of a long answer from you so we know that you can get out there and hold your own shot, carry on a conversation.
Oh, I see.
And I need details from you about things, opinions. We love people
Okay.
with real strong opinions. So.
Oh, it's just a picture.
Well, I didn't think there was.
Okay.
All right.
Will this date, in your own mind, be, say, more important than, say, an average date? The national TV?
Yeah, yeah. Because it's a big build-up, and it's supposed to be a big event. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a shot. I'm going to do something that I normally wouldn't do unless I really met somebody really great. And I haven't done that in a while. So, but I still want to do this stuff, and so this is a great opportunity. Just the flip of the coin, This is the best date I can come up with. They're going to throw somebody in there, and let's just see if it works out great or if it's a disaster.
Yeah, but you don't have any preconceptions. It doesn't matter, right? You just give it your best shot.
Oh, well, of course I would hope that that the girl just falls in love with me and that we can come back and but if it's funny or if it's weird or it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, you're a good sport, Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you luck.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
I'll look for your show.
Yeah, have a good one.
See you later.
That be real charming when they do your interview, when you talk a lot and give a lot of details and just make us feel that you don't yawn. So you don't yawn. That's like the main thing.
Wake up now.
You look alive.
Yeah.
You look like you can kick ass. That's what we want.
Tell us all your interesting stories about dating.
Yeah. You'll do anything that your writer tells you.
How was Jeff?
Jeff was really good.
Selector or selectee?
He's probably going to be a selector.
He's going to get his wish?
Yeah, he was excellent. He was excellent.
He really seems upbeat.
He was very upbeat. He was very excited about it, and he did really well. He was an interesting guy. Had some fun with him.
He's a pilot.
And now we're going to see what Diane has to say. Diane Kelly.
Boring.
Who took a little snoozette while she was waiting.
Well, she's had a lot of time to do her nails.
Yeah, did your nails. Oh my God. Wow, lethal weapons those nails are. No wonder you don't have a date.
Oh, but I can't type it. I don't know where. I wouldn't be able to do my job.
You do your typing with this? Wow. You must scare the hell out of men though with this face tag.
I don't care. I'm not cutting them for no.
No, there's a lot of work and investment.
They don't like them.
Do you spend a lot of time on your nails?
No, I do them every 2 weeks.
Oh.
Then Saturday, I do them again 2 weeks.
Wow.
They're amazing.
Well, they're great looking. Well, let's come down. We'll talk about nails and a number of other things you won't do. For a man.
Nails and talk about nails and males.
Well, you look terrific.
Good luck.
Okay, thanks.